This is my first time flying this event. I think I crewed here for the guy who does the Flag City balloon, before it was the Flag City balloon, it was just a flag. And another guy from Battle Creek flew, and I came down here to help him crew. And since then I've got my home balloon and license, and so I'm down here to fly.
Okay, so what made you decide to get your own balloon?
Battle Creek's actually a pretty big balloon area. They've got a 4th of July week, they've got a big air show and balloon festival there. And in the past, like several decades, they've had like world championships and national championships there. And as a kid, just grew up around them. Volunteered to help out-of-town pilots when I was 16. And I got my first balloon ride during that time, and got my brother hooked up with the crew as well. And he's actually more persuasive than I am, so he talked my dad into buying one for the family to learn how to fly. So my dad's got his license, my brother, and me. My dad hardly flies anymore, but my brother and I are pretty competitive. So, well, this is I got my license in 2008. Bought a balloon in 2010, which is this one. And started my competitive flying end of 2010. So last year was my first full year. I think I did maybe 4 events. This year, I lost count how many events I'm doing this year. I'm probably doing 8 or 10 events this year. So it's quite a jump up for me. Camaraderie is probably the biggest part. I mean, this is like all the pilots and crew are like a secondary family. So we all have a good time. Most of us have a lot of things in common, obviously, with the sport, but outside of the sport, and like I said, if the weather cancels our fun, we'll usually get together and either have picnics or grill out or tailgate out in the parking lot, just having a good time. And a lot of people will ask what exactly is a race or what's the competitive side of ballooning. It used to be the most basic is what they would call like a hare and the hound, where one balloon would take off, and the goal was everybody else to follow and try to navigate the winds to get and land as close as that first balloon when they land. They found with all the balloons trying to get into one spot, it got very congested, so they've gone to now more of a target. So they put a big X on the ground. So this is what we throw at the targets. So it could be an X on the ground or a shape. Maybe they'll make a star on the ground and you got to try to throw it inside the shape. But it can be corn or lots of different little baggies, but they have a regulation of what it should be in weight and size. So you'll see people either throw it over and let it down. This will be the most common thing you probably see, is winding it up from distance and letting it go.
So do you practice throwing that before you fly?
I have, yeah, a little bit. Get used to how far it's going to go and technique. At this point, we're probably going to take it down just so stuff doesn't get too wet. When it started, sprinkled pretty light. It was tolerable, but yeah, it started picking up. So combination of wind and rain took her down. Yeah, we always come out and we always want to get them out and fly. That's part of the fun. So, but we're pretty used to having weather kind of ruin our fun sometimes. But so we do what we can. We either even if we have a day where it's windy, we can't get stuff out on the ground like we're going to do today for everyone. We'll get baskets out and we'll go up to the crowd and have people walk around, ask questions. A lot of us have little trading cards with our balloon on it. Kids like to collect, so they'll go around and it's a show for the kids mostly, and then everybody else wants to see it. So.